Okay, here we go. We are doing lesson 3 and lesson 4 for math class. So let's get our notes set up, shall we? We're going to start with writing our line. So go over part way, leave yourself a column. And I know I haven't explained to you what to do, why there's a little column and a separate few lines at the bottom. I'm going to fix that. I don't like not straight lines. So this is the great thing about using a Rocketbook. You can be like, whoop, I'm going to fix that. Okay, dry it off. Just used a little water there. And then here, whoops, you don't need to see that. There we go. And then I can try again. Nice, almost straight line. All right, and then of course we have our line across the top as well. So we've got lesson 3 to start with. This is lesson 3, and it's called the coordinate plane. All right, so we're continuing on with our number lines, and the coordinate plane is a specific number line that is our intersecting vertical and horizontal. Okay, so we saw those in the last video. So first we're going to draw ourselves a number line. All right. And the other side of our horizontal. Right there. Okay, so this actually is the coordinate plane. We've got 4 quarters. We've got an intersection point. All right, and of course we know that it goes forever and forever. And we know that this side is our positive, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And this side's our negative. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and so on. And then we've got our vertical. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and so on. And here we've got negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we've got it labeled as far as our scale. That's what this is called, scale. Okay, so I'm going to give you this scale of an axis. That is what this is called. This is an axis. The line, this is an axis. So we have 2 axes. Yes, you say axes when it's plural. You don't say axes. I guess you could, but you'd sound really funny. Okay, so the scale of an axis is the number of units each grid line represents. Okay, so the scale of this one, this graph, the scale is 1, right? Because I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting by ones. You could have a scale of anything. I could go 10, 20, 30, 40, or 5, 10, 15, 20. It doesn't matter as long as you are consistent. And whatever you number the 1, you have to number all the way around. All right? So now let me give you some definitions. All right? This point right here, this is called the origin, okay? And in coordinates, it would be 0, 0. Okay? It is the point of intersection. Where the two lines cross, that's where the 0 is. Okay? Now, as I said, these are called, each one of those lines is an axis. So they each have a letter. All right? Your horizontal is your x-axis. And your vertical, this is your y-axis. Why? Because I said so. It just is. Okay? So x-axis, I'm going to erase that and rewrite it so it's a little clearer. Yes, I can use water or I can use my eraser. Okay? I'm going to put it down here. Y-axis. So the x-axis and the y-axis. And it's important to remember to know that, because I'm going to slide down just a little bit, then we'll come back up. You need to remember that your coordinates, because this is a coordinate plane, coordinates, there are always two. Okay? You have an x and you have a y. And they're written just like that. It's always the x is first and the y is second. Okay? So this is your first number. And this is your second number. And I'm going to show you how to graph things like that in lesson 3. Okay? So, let's go back up here. The last definitions I want to give you is each of these 4 quarters, they have a specific name. Okay? So, let's use the group. Well, yeah. This is known as quadrant 1. Oh, that's not a good color, is it? You can't really see that. So, let's just grab a different pen. It's not much better, is it? One more try. Let's do this. You can read that. Quadrant 1. Okay? And we use Roman numerals. Why? I have no idea. It just is that way. So this is quadrant 1. And we can see that we have positive and positive. So my x is positive and my y is positive. I don't really care if you remember that this is positive, positive, and this is negative, positive, and all that, but I do need you to know that this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2, and you can see that on the x it's negative, and on the y it's positive. This one, yep, you're right, quadrant 3, and it is negative on the x and negative on the y. And this last one, of course, is quadrant 4, and it is positive on the x, negative on the y. Okay, remember, quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. They're called quadrants because there are 4 of them. Quad means 4. Ha ha! Too easy, right? So that is the basics of the coordinate plane. All right, now we're going to move on and do lesson 4. So you're going to flip the page, get a different new page, and we're going to have lesson 4, graphing on the coordinate plane. Okay, so we're going to draw our coordinate plane here. So we've got our origin here, it's 0, 0. Now I'm going to make this scale two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oops, that's a goofy thing. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, okay? So what's my scale? 2, you're right, 2, okay? So my scale, I'm going to write it over here. So this would be -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, -14, -16, -18. This would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and down here we've got -2, 4, -6, 8, -10, 12, -14, -16, and so on. Okay? So, this is our coordinate plane for this lesson. What I want us to map out, by the way, you can map a lot of things or graph a lot of things. I'm going to just put down here at the bottom. You can graph ratios. You can graph unit rates. You can graph algebra equations, and you can graph coordinates on a map. Okay? And yes, one of my students yesterday had pointed out, hey, positive and negative numbers, it's a lot like Minecraft, because you have to go negative or positive. Exactly what we're talking about, okay? Minecraft uses the coordinate plane. Yay! So let's look at graphing on the coordinate plane. Remember, I said you're always going to have 2 coordinates. So we're going to have an x and a y. So I'm going to first, I'm trying to keep things color-coded to make it a little easier. So I'm going to make a little table down here underneath, all right? I'm going to use my darker one. All right, so here's a table. Alright. And there's an announcement. Alright, so you missed some of the drawing of the lines while I paused, so you didn't have to listen to the whole announcement. Alright, so this is our X, and this is our Y. Okay, let's get back up there so you can see it. So that's our X and that's our Y. So I'm going to start with 2, -3. Okay, so X is first. We go over to the 2, and then we have to go to -3. I just realized this is supposed to be -2 here, and this is -4. Boy, that pen, I'm just going to move that pen because it's not helpful, is it? So this is -2, this is -4, 6, 8, -10, 12, 14, 16. There we go. I was a little off in my numbering. Got to be careful. See? Don't forget that little number there. All right. So 2, since our scale is 2, we're going to go to the first number, or the first line, and then we have to go to -3. Well, there's -2, so -3 would be halfway between. So this dot is 2, -3. Okay, let's switch colors. Let's do -8, -10. Okay, -8, -10. Yeah, I love being interrupted. There. All right, so -8, -10. So we're going to start on the X. -8 is here, and then we're going to go down to -10, and that's where we put our dot. Okay, and this is -8, -10. And let's do a couple more here. Let's do, how about if we do 8, +8, -10. All right, so if we go +8, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then -10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Look at that. It's, what did I do wrong? Ha! This is not 8, 10, is it? I did. Oh, yes, I did. 8, 10. I'm such a dork. Yes, it's, I was expecting it to be this way, but anyway, ignore my brain, because I do. Okay, so this is +8, -10. All right, now, let's do one more. Let's do 14, 6. Two positive numbers. So we're going to go to 14 on the X first, and then 6, 2, 4, 6, right there, and this is 14, 6. Now notice I have labeled every single one of my points. It's very important that you make sure that you label your points. Okay? Now the last thing I'm going to show you is, I'm going to like draw a line here to show you. This is the X and this is the Y. And I'm going to show you like a line if I were doing an algebra equation. Okay? And you don't have to know this. Alright? So if I do Y equals 1/2 X plus 3, and so there's another one. Yeah. Oh, I'm running out of time. I'm going to have to go outside soon. Okay, so 1/2 X plus 3. You don't know how to do this. You're going to learn how to do this in 7th grade, but I'm just going to give it to you in your brain, all right? So, x and y, 1/2. Ah! Oh, see, now it's time to go. All right, y equals 1/2 x plus 3. I'm going to start at the 3 right there. Boom. And then I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. Boom. Then I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. Then I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. Up 1 and over 2. And then you can see I have created a straight line that goes on forever and ever. Isn't that awesome? All right. All you really need to worry about is x, then y. You always go x first, then y. I'll see you later.